Hello and welcome to Mindful Escape. My name is Leighton, and over the next 5 videos we're going to be talking about mindset. Day 1 is all around developing a growth mindset. About 4 years ago I read a book called Mindset by Carol Dweck, and if you've not read it I highly recommend it. Before I used to think, oh, I've got such a positive mentality, I've got a good outlook on the world, but I didn't realize there were certain elements of my life where I was fixed in my mindset and I wasn't willing to be open-minded enough to realize that part of my mind was still closed. And you might be thinking now, well, I'm positive, I'm open-minded, but are you open-minded enough to realize that part of your mind may still be closed? Are you open-minded enough to realize that actually you may not be optimistic and positive about every situation? And are you willing to consider that actually there are areas of your life that you can improve where you believe that you cannot? Now, if you're still with me and you want to start shifting your reality, about 2 years ago I quit my corporate job to live a life where I now work from anywhere in the world. I wanted to create a life that I love, and by shifting your mindset is the first step to changing your reality. So I'm going to give you a few examples now where I was keeping myself in a fixed mindset and how I shifted to a growth mindset, and some of them may or may not resonate with you. The first one was with math. So at school, I was really struggling with maths, and I always thought to myself, I'm bad at this subject, I'm never going to be good. Until one day my dad sat down with me, we went through some practicing together, and he shifted the way that I thought about maths in the sense that there is always an answer to be found with maths. In other topics, obviously, you may know the answer or you may not, but with maths, you can always work it out. And when I shifted into that mindset, I started to really enjoy maths. I started to see it as a game, and I thought, whoa, actually, whatever question comes up, there is a way of finding the answer. And to today, I absolutely love math. I'm great at it. When people ask quick arithmetic questions, I love trying to figure out the answers as quick as possible. And I went from believing that I would spend my whole life being bad at math to now absolutely loving it and enjoying it and being good at it. Another example is learning languages. I always thought that I was bad at learning languages. I failed miserably at school, and I always found it difficult to remember the words and find the associations and the word order. And I had this belief I was bad at languages, and I would be like that for the rest of my life. As I got into my late 20s, I started learning Portuguese, and I realized that through constant practice, through constant word association, listening to music, reading books, going to classes, eventually I became good at the language. And I realized that my thought of being bad at the language was just from my experience at school and not learning in a way that worked for me. And now I'm great at learning languages. When I want to learn a new language, I'll just pick up the words, I'll remember them, I'll repeat them. And it's all a mindset. If I believe that I was bad and I wouldn't remember, then of course I'm going to be bad and I'm not going to remember. But if I believe that I have the possibility, the potential to learn and grow, then I will. And you can relate this to anything. Whatever you feel that you are bad at and you'll always be bad at, can you shift that mentality? Can you move it from this fixed state of I will always be like this to actually potentially if I work at that I could be good at that. If I practice that I could be good at it. Because if you can shift that mindset, you can start to shift your reality. The final example I have is art. I always did badly at art. I could never draw, paint. I'd go outside the lines when I was colouring. It was always something that I didn't particularly enjoy as a child, and I was always told I was bad at school and by my friends and family. And most recently I went to an art therapy class, and I went in with this growth mindset of it doesn't matter how it turns out. I'm just going to try my absolute best, and I'm going to imagine that I am a great artist, that I can draw and paint anything. And the therapist said to me at the start of the class, she said to everyone, how is everyone feeling about it? And a few people said, oh, I'm a really bad drawer, I'm a bad painter, or I don't really feel comfortable with art. And I said, oh, I'm a great artist, so I'm very excited. And I laughed, and she said, "Why do you laugh?" And I said, "Well, because really I know that I'm not very good, but I'm going to just go into this with the belief that I am, and let's see what happens." And by the end of the session, I'd drawn this amazing piece of art, and everyone in the group said, "Oh, I thought you said you weren't very good." And I said, "Well, yeah, I did. I came into this session believing that whatever I put on this paper was going to be with 100% effort, with 100% belief that it's going to be good." And it was. And it's obviously a very small example, but this happens to us all day, every day, throughout our whole lives. We find something that we're not good at. We're told we're not good at. We are led to believe that we'll never be good at it. But through practice, through work, through a different perception, you can completely change your reality, change your mindset, and change your world. So what I'd like you to do is grab a pen and paper, and let's start identifying where in your life you have a fixed mindset. What do you think you're not good at? What do you think you'll never be good at? And start writing them down. What do you think would be the things that would never change in your life? Start writing them down. And once you've got a list, then start to review that list and think, okay, do I actually want to be good at this? Is there a chance I could be good at this? And what could I do to start improving at this? And you'll start to notice that there are things in your life that actually you want to change, but you never believed you could. And if you can shift your mind state from that fixed mentality to a growth mindset where you believe that I can improve at anything if I put my mind to it, and then you can start doing it. And the truth is, when you start practicing these things, you will only ever fail when you give up. If you keep being persistent, if you keep practicing, if you keep working at it, eventually you'll get to the place that you want to get to. You just have to believe it, be open-minded, be in that state of positivity, optimism, and growth mindset, and you'll get whatever you want to in life. So once you've done this first exercise, let me know in the comments how you found the practice. What came up for you? Did you notice that there are certain things holding you back in your life that you wish you could improve on? Have you started to realize that perhaps things could change in your life? Please let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, also give it a like. Subscribe to the channel. We've got more videos coming up on mindset very soon, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Thanks for listening.